what are some good ways to increase Facebook followers other than sponsored posts and boosts? So that kind of brings me into another strategy that I've been using a lot right now, and that I think that a lot of lawyers can be using also. Now, for me, I don't necessarily worry about how many Facebook followers I have per se, because really Facebook followers don't really mean that much. If somebody likes your Facebook page, you don't get, like, your actual personal page, you don't get that much reach on. I think Facebook is actually increasing the reach again, but back, 2010, 2011, which I call the glory days of Facebook. That was back when if you had like 20, if you had 1,000 people on your page, 20 to 30% would see every single post that you did. So right off the bat, you do a post, at least 200 to 300 people are seeing it. And then if it gets some likes and comments and engagement, then you're going to go up to 50, 60, maybe even 70%. So those were like the heydays of Facebook advertising, when you could actually use Facebook to advertise for free. And then Facebook went pay to play. And now it's like maybe 10%, 15%, something like that. But one thing that I do all the time is that I go into other Facebook groups and I'll just comment on things and I'll just provide value. So what you need to do is you need to join Facebook groups where your potential clients are going and where they're already having conversations. Perfect example. I live in Lakeland, Florida. There's a group here called 863 Crime Watch. It's a Facebook group. And it's the craziest group because basically every single, anytime there's any police lights or anytime there's an accident or anything, it always gets reported in this group. It's like 40,000 people, and it started as like a neighborhood watch group. So no one is doing this. This is an absolute amazing opportunity for a personal injury attorney to go in that group, and every time there's an accident, just start commenting and giving information. Don't go and say, hey, if you were in this accident, call me today. But what you can do is you can actually go in there and start providing value and just start helping people. And what that does is people are going to start to see what you're putting out there. They're going to start to see that you're providing really good information. They're going to get curious who you are. So then they're going to click and they're going to check out your profile. So then on your profile, in your bio, you should put, I'm a personal injury attorney and I help people do whatever I do, and then have a link to your website. Or you can even say like, personal injury attorney fighting for victims, direct message me if you need any help, or direct message me if you have any questions or things like that. And what will happen is people will do that. People will absolutely get curious when they see you providing value, and they will then go ahead and then they'll contact you. What do they say? North Carolina has very strict ethical restrictions on what attorneys can say on Facebook and other social media platforms. Attorneys, yeah, obviously you need to check with your local bar associations and make sure that you're being ethical. But I mean, I think that there's a line between giving legal advice and giving an opinion and giving like, again, you've got to figure out what works for you. Obviously, there's 50 states. I can't, you can't have blanket information for everything, but this is a really, really good way to do it. If you can go into other Facebook groups. So like, for example, if you're a family law attorney, go into parenting groups. If you're a criminal defense attorney, go into like addiction and drug addiction groups and things like that, where people are having problems and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many different places where you can figure out where your actual clients are going. And this is actually a strategy Gary Vaynerchuk came up with. It's called the $1.80 a day strategy, where basically you leave your 2 cents 90 times in different places. So it's actually pretty cool. Nick, do you ever do that? Do you ever go into other groups and provide value?
I don't know if you're baiting me. I actually met Andy because we joined his group and we just started posting, like expert opinions on.
Oh, did you really? I don't even remember that.
Oh, really? That's so funny. I didn't know if you were baiting me.
Oh, no, I don't remember.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, that's what you do though.
So we do that. We also started our own Facebook group, which is something that you can do eventually and grow your own audience. But yeah, we end up, I think I'm in a group called, what is it? Maximum Lawyer. And it's just
Maximum Lawyer.
Right. And there's like, how many, 20,000 attorneys in there, or 10,000 attorneys or something like that. And it's just crowdsourcing information, which is so applicable to like other industries, right? But for me, I'll keep it on the eye. I go in there and there will be an attorney who asks, what's the best way to, or what's the best phone company to use? And I deal with a lot of phone companies, and I know how to help attorneys set up their phones so that they're set up for the most success. So I'll just go in there and comment on my Facebook page. Here's who you should go with. Here are some options. Here's some links to their website. Read their client reviews. Here's how much they cost. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I don't really say anything, but if you go to my Facebook page, it clearly says I work for Answering Legal. I'm an answering service. And then if you're in touch with me and you need help with your phones and I'm the guy you go to, I can make those recommendations.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, for sure.
like relating it back to lawyers, yeah, like Neighborhood Watch or trying to think.
You just got to think of like parenting groups if you're a family law attorney. I mean, like just think groups. Of like wherever your ideal clients could be hanging out, you know. And somebody said we have to be very careful about solicitation. Yeah, that's 100% right. But if you're doing this correctly, you should never say contact me for anything, because like what my strategy is basically I see people have questions, I answer the questions, and I try to over deliver as much as possible, and then people contact me. And if you can take that strategy, then it definitely works really, really well. If you just provide really, really good value, then people are eventually going to get curious. And here's the thing, not every single person that you leave value for is going to hire you, you know, but if you make a consistent habit of doing this, it will really, really work really well. It will really work in your favor.